Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Arabic lesson 4. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So this is first an exercise from all the words we've looked at before, all the letters we looked at before. Tha, Jim, Ba, Ta, Ha, Dal, Kha and Dal. So if you can pause the video, attempt this, put it in the missing letters in the words to make that full word of the words we have learned, and I will show the answers in a second. And pause. Right, so we have the first one. Thobe. Thobe, which was clothes. Kurat. Kurat, which was balls. Like that. We have bait, which is a house. Ustad, teacher. Burj, and notice how what goes above the line, what goes below the line. Burj, tower. We have Hisan, horse. Dub, which was a bear. And finally Bittikh, which was a watermelon. And that's it. So I hope you got them all right. And let's proceed to today's lesson. And in today's lesson we'll be looking at the letter Ra. So from the 5 letters Hamza, Dal, Dal, the ones we've looked at already. Now we have Ra and Za. All of these are ones that after it does not join onto anything. Yes, there can be letters after it, but they will never be joined together. So for Ra we have the first word Rumman. Rumman. So if you have a line, we can see the Noon has gone underneath and the Ra has gone underneath. Rumman, which is a pomegranate. Pomegranate. Next letter with the Ra at the beginning. Here's the line. Here's the line. We have Ra's. Ra, Hamza, Sin. And Sin, as you can see, the head of the Sin is on top and the tail is below, which we'll come to further on in the lessons. Ra's, which is head. Both of these are masculine. And the final word is beginning with Ra, Rajul. Jim, as we've seen before, and Lam. Rajul. Rajul. Man. So that's all the ones with Ra at the beginning. Now looking at Ra in the middle, we have Markab. Here's the line. Meme sitting on top. Ra going underneath. Kaf and a Ba. Markab. Transport. Mode of transport. We have, so memes join onto Ra, and after the Ra it doesn't join, but then the Kaf comes afterwards and then the Ba. Namir. Here's a line. This is now Ra at the end. Namir. Noon, Meme, or Ra going under the line. Namir. Tiger. And finally we have Fa'r. Fa, Hamza. Fa'r. Then the Ra at the end by itself, not joined onto anything else. Mouse. Okay. So before we go to za, let's introduce some new thing to learn about the Arabic language, and that is, as you've seen me write the on top of the letters, below it sometimes, and above it in different styles. Let's just go over that so we understand what the harakat, those things that bring the noise, bring the sound to these letters. So by itself, we have a fatha. So I'm just putting in brackets to show you where it will be for that letter. It will be on top. Fatha, as we would say zabr, fatha. Fatha. So this is more for the grammatical side of things. We understand. The zair that we say is the kasra. That comes below the letters. Kasra. Kasra. And then the one we have on top, but it's like a wow, is the pesh, as we say, or the dhamma. 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 So these are the things that give the letter its sounds. So if I have in the examples, if I put ba, jim, and dal. So we have the sound with the ba, ba. With the jim here we have ji, and with the dal we have du. These are things that we learned in madrasa, but now we're learning what the Arabic terms for them are. So this are giving that little, it's a short, we don't make it long. We just say du, not do, or ji, we're saying ji. Ba, not ba. So this is the ones that make sound appear from the letters, and it's a small sound. It's a short sound. We have also the shadda. So you'll see this sign, a W sign on a word, and that's the shadda. And this is like there's two of those letters in there. So if you have ta, this is equivalent to two tas. The first one always being sakin, so I'm going to introduce sakin as well. So let's bring in sakin. Or sukun. This is where we have a circle on top, as you see me write, like burj. In burj, the ra, it does not make a sound, so we don't say ra, we don't say ri, we don't say ru. This is when we have burj with it, ba, bur, bur, that's the only sound it makes, bur. There's no actual sound coming from that. And then burj, tower. So sakin is one that when we have here, let's use a ba before this, and let's join it all together, which is the equivalent of ba and ta, with the shadda on top. So if you had bat, you could have anything, batta, batti, battu. So if you have batta on top, is equivalent to, this is more or less the same. So writing twice, this is wrong, let's write it like this. Batta is the same as but. So we have the first thing, we kind of merge into it, but not making a sound. But the next one will make the sound, is but, batta, or batti if it was a kasra under it, or a battu is the same as battu. Battu would be battu. So just to understand, there's two letters in there. First one always being sakin. That's what that kind of denotes. We have sakin, which makes no sound at all. And we finally have tanweens. So the tanweens, we have 2 of these. So I'll just carry on from here. So let's rub this one off. So there's 1 of them. We can use a fatha, kasra, dhamma, but if you have 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and they give in the end a sound of like noon sakin. So let's see. Bun. Can you hear the noon? Bun. We have, let's use a tha this time. Thin. Thin. And we have khun. Khun. So in each one we say tanween because now we can hear the noon at the end. And this is what a Arabic word in its original sense has. So when today's word we saw rajul, rajul, you'll see that every time I've not written anything on the bottom. That's always dependent on what is before that in the sentence. When we start composing and building sentences, but in its original sense it would be rajulun. Everything is in this. Everything has a double. So in the beginning, rajulun, a man. And when I said last time, I introduced alif lam, the huruf, the sun letters, huruf shamsiya and huruf qamariya, the sun and moon letters. Ra is from the shamsiya one, so we're going to merge into it. So let's show you how it changes with alif lam. We'll concentrate more on as we're making sentences later on, but just to bring it in now. So this is when in the last lesson, one of the lessons previously, we added alif lam. So we said, do we say al rajul or ar rajul? But because this is a shamsiya one, we merge into it. We say ar rajul. And when we have ar rajul, when alif lam joins onto a word, so rajulun in its original sense, the tanweens, it removes one of them. So we have ar rajulu. With alif lam, you'll never have tanweens. So that's one point to know. But we'll emphasize that more and understand that more as we go along. Right, so that's all the short increases in the sound. Even khun, thin, bun. It's not bun, thin. We're not making a really long way. It's a short one, like ba, thi, and khu. Same as bun, thin, khun. The mushaddadas, burj. There's nothing made long. That's when we do the mads, and for that I will show it in the next part. Before we go on to the last letter today, which will be za. So just doing the top part again. We have a letter ba, and if an alif was joined to it, it would make it long with a fatha. Ba, so it's made it longer now. So that's this alif, this waw, this ya. These letters are actually vowels in Arabic, and they make things long. But the only way they make long is if before the alif, the word, the letter before the letter alif has a fatha. Before the waw it has a pesh. Sorry, dhamma. And before the ya it has a kasra. Then these things make it even longer. So we have, let's just make it more clear with space. So let's put ta here with an alif. Let's put dal here with the waw, and let's put jim here with the ya. That's how they would join. So Dal, nothing joins after it, so there you can see that. Right, here's the alif, it's a vowel, and we put a fatha before it, that becomes ta. A dhamma before the waw, do, it's made even longer, and a kasra before the ya, ji. So these are now those that make it even longer. So we understood the vowels. Right, so finally let's go on to the za and finish off today's lesson. And for that we have at the beginning for za, zarafa, zarafa, and here ra and za are above the line. Giraffe sounds similar, doesn't it? Giraffe, zarafa. We have a really simple one, za and ra, zir, zir, button. And for the final one we have zujaja, the za crossing over into the below the line, zujaja. And here in these three words we have the ta there and the ta there. So in today's vocab, this is the feminine words. هذه زرافة, this is a giraffe. هذه زجاجة, we will not use هذا, it will be هذا زر, this is a button. Right, and finally to finish off today's lesson with in the middle and at the end we have ghazal, which, yes, it is gazelle, the deer. Ghazal, za in the middle, joined onto something, but after that never joins. We have mouse, mouse, this is za at the end, banana, and finally we have urz, urz, and ra and za are not joined onto anything after that. Rice. Okay, so that's two letters complete today, za and ra. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.